Good morning and welcome to another edition of Enlitic's Live Fast 5. Today we want to talk about data monetization. Suddenly I can feel everyone tense up. What do you mean data monetization? You can't sell my data. There's too many risks. It's not ethical. The data doesn't belong to us. Well, data monetization by definition means using data for economic benefit. Economic benefit can mean many different things, and it can manifest itself in both internal and external ways. So let's address the elephant in the room first, external data monetization. Well, healthcare providers generate more data per year than any other industry. In fact, healthcare generates 30% of the world's data, and over 97% of that data goes unused. A large portion of this data resides in radiology. Hospitals continue to maintain decades of archives, ensuring that they're backed up, they're protected, they're accessible, all of those things, all of those costs. And over time, in relationship to a patient, this value of the data declines. You know, a study that's 5 years old is not that important to a patient study that was done today, and you're comparing trends over time. However, it actually increases in value with respect to research and population health trending, looking at how that patient has progressed over time on a certain treatment of a drug, for example. So being able to take that cost of managing and storing that data and having to migrate to new storage devices and all of those fun things into a new revenue source would seem to me to be low-hanging fruit for many providers. But the concerns over data ownership, data security, and privacy still take precedence over the utilization of this data. Sell my data? No way, not going to happen. So let's think about it from a different perspective. Maybe we look at how we can turn data into internal monetization if you're gun shy about selling it. For example, standardizing medical images. By standardizing the study and series descriptions, DICOM studies will hang properly in packs, dictation templates will load correctly, and radiologists can save up to 10% of their reporting time. Time that results in more studies being read, could be revenue, less burden on the staff, reducing burnout, again, cost savings in recruiting, and less mundane tasks being managed by the PACS administrators. All of these time savings can be translated into dollar amounts, which is an economic benefit. Similarly, standardized data reduces the amount of time researchers spend searching and preparing data. There's reports out there that say up to 75% of their time is spent finding and prepping data. I'd like to say turn your researcher into a refinder. Okay, cheesy marketing statement, right? But the truth is that they spend so much time finding and prepping the data that with standardizing the data for them, that time spent finding and prepping can be turned into research time, and now your internal monetization of the data, again, has economic benefit. AI has been one of the hot topics at many shows lately, trade shows, conferences, and the benefits and the challenges both have been raised. One of those challenges is the use of data to validate the algorithms. Providers need to test the systems with their data, but a lack of data standardization makes that difficult. Some algorithm companies require the radiologist to select the series, send that to the AI system, and then wait for it to be processed. I don't know too many radiologists that are willing to do that or have that kind of patience, but being able to use that facility's own data to validate the algorithms would constitute an economic benefit. Standardize the data, understand what data needs to be used in the validation process, and then send that data through. That could be a huge time and money saver for an organization. AI algorithms can be validated faster, they can be rolled out quickly, and it would increase the confidence in the outputs as more studies can be found and utilized. This is data monetization. Furthermore, providers can internally monetize data. They can use it to create predictive models, which help identify patients at risk of developing certain conditions and to forecast patient outcomes, anticipate disease progression, or even intervene proactively to prevent adverse events. Again, this is an internal use and not selling the data. Data can be used to optimize the resources by analyzing trends. Trends in modality utilization, some modality vendors are doing this. I worked for a modality vendor once and we were investigating this type of thing. It can identify the peak demand periods, reduce the wait times, or improve access to the services. Again, using data for economic benefit to optimize the way the hospital is running. Many facilities are already internally monetizing their data through quality improvements. whether it's reporting turnaround times, diagnostic accuracy, or adherence to acquisition protocols. All these enable facilities to enhance the quality of services they provide. So again, monetizing the data. And yes, facilities can decide if they want to turn decades of archives into new revenue generating sources. Clinical trial organizations, pharmaceutical companies, medical device manufacturers, they all want this data, whether it's tracking the efficacy of a drug or more real world evidence of health trends. Radiology data can be utilized better to help drive innovation. Over 50% of clinical trials involve using medical images. In fact, most diseases involve medical imaging. I struggle to think of a disease that doesn't use imaging as part of the diagnostic process. I once thought diabetes, but even then, you're looking at circulatory problems or retinal issues, and imaging is used in those areas. So, if you got an idea, I'd love to hear where medical imaging is not used in the diagnostic process of some disease, whatever that disease is. At the end of the day, 54% of healthcare executives believe data utilization is a top priority, but over 50% have no data governance or data analytics strategy. Organizations spend tons of money each year managing this data, storing this data, protecting this data, only for it to go unused. I think it's time to think about how we can leverage this data and offset the costs with new revenue sources. Enlitic's here to help you with your data standardization and anonymization, which will lead to your monetization. Check out more at enlitic.com or visit us at UKIO in England this summer, or SIM will be there as well. Thanks for joining us for our live Fast Five, and we will see you next time. Thanks for coming out.